Django Unchained.
Django.
I have to get into that movie. Okay, you had already won the Oscar, obviously from Ray.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I remember when that Django script was going around,
Crazy.
and a lot of people were afraid
First
to
time I
touch
heard
it.
about that script was Tyler Perry. Hey, man, have you heard this this thing that they're doing, Quentin Tarantino's doing? It's called the Django or something like that. I said, no, I ain't. That's not my Tyler Perry.
Everybody kept saying the Django.
Hey, man, this Django thing. So I said, I don't know what it is, but if it's Quentin Tarantino, it's got to be tough. So I wasn't in the running for Django because I was in the middle of switching my management around, so I didn't know nothing about Django. But I heard that a lot of people was up for it. One, Will Smith. But Will was like, yo, so we're here, and so it's Django. And when I went there to talk to QT, I was like, yo, so as a slave, yo, was like, what you talking about? I said, Will, you have to play it. Yo, but a slave, nah, we're there. I said, you got to do it. So he passed. Now I'm doing a show like in Maryland or something, and all of a sudden, Idris Elba is in backstage, and he saw that, Quentin Tarantino mentioned this movie. It's called Django, it's where I play slave. I'm a slave, and then I get raped, and someone else gets raped. And I said, man, they ain't gonna rape you. I said, but I could imagine your big, beautiful black ass on that goddamn horse with your shirt off. Well, you really don't know if I should do. I said, all right. So he passed. So now it's my turn. My management hooked me up, and this was funny. I switched my management, and I went into my agency. And when I went to my new agency, they were like, Jamie, it's a fresh start. I said, yeah. What do you feel like playing a slave? I said, man, what the so no. Django. I said, oh, I heard about it. So now I go to Quentin Tarantino house, but I know it's a Western. I bring my horse.
Now that's what I'm talking about, multifaceted.
Listen, my horse is parked outside while I'm doing the thing.
The performance has begun.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing in there. And I said, QT, you know what? I know you're looking at a lot of people, man, but I just want to let you know I got my own horse. What? My horse is in your driveway. You have your own horse? What the You brought a horse to my house? What do you mean? There's a horse? I said, yeah, man, right outside. So I go outside. What the I'm showing my horse. I said, QT, I know everybody trying to get on, but I think Django and his horse is a real thing. It's got to be some energy. I said, and what's crazy is my horse look just like your stunt horse. You just got to paint the shoes white. So Quentin calls my new manager, Rick Yorn. Hi, man. I don't know what this Jamie Foxx is selling, but I'm buying it. And so that's how I got in the movie.
It's so a lot of people, those incredible impressions, they were scared of that script. People were scared of the Django, of the slave, of everything with it, of the satire. Is this humorous? The Sam role, everything was spooky about it. As an actor and as a performer, just like what you were saying that you said to, you said to Idris.
Django wants me, it's rape, I get raped.
Boom.
There's rape.
We've seen all these scenes. Was it you? How did you come in there and say, this is how this needs to be done? As a
I'm going to be, first of all, we had a great leader, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. And one thing Quentin said when we were talking about the dynamic of the movie, Quentin says, hey, man, I'm not going to hide behind my I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to throw you to the wall. So he says, I'm going to stand in front of this. However, when it came to certain things, when it came to us, I said, QT, I want to bring somebody to the set on the most horrific day. Yeah. It was Kathy Hughes, who does Radio 1. So Kathy Hughes comes to the set. I said, Miss Hughes, I want you to watch this scene. And this was the scene where the dogs were ripping apart the slave. Miss Hughes wept, and she says, this is a movie that's necessary. She says, I will make sure on Radio 1, because she touched 98% of black people, that this is a movie we need to watch. And then in return, Quentin did Kathy Hughes' interview show. So he was nice enough to do her show. So there were certain checkpoints where I go like, and I hope he doesn't mind. I hope he doesn't mind me saying like, because what I was telling Will and Idris, I said, man, all the stuff that I know about Quentin, what he put in his script, he don't shoot that.
Yeah.
But what he put in the script, he don't always shoot that. So the movie gonna be different. And then of course some of that stuff you ain't gonna be able to do no way. But you gotta be vocal and,
This
and
is what I
not
want.
not be afraid. If you read the script, Broomhilda
Mm-hmm.
and Django get raped.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
But once we got together, Quentin and I and Kerry, we wanted to protect Kerry Washington. Why? Because movies are forever. Meaning that if there is some bombastic scene, you can't take it out. And it's forever.
And you can clip it
And
out of context.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure that we protected Olivia Pope. And at that time, that television show wasn't out yet, but I said, hey, she's gonna have this show and we wanna protect her. And he was with it. So all of that sort of outlandish stuff left, and then certain things. This is the only, I'll only say this because we have a great leader. I said, QT, when I read the script, the only thing that I see is Django, he ain't trying to cure slavery, but he love his woman. So right now in the script, his woman ain't in there enough. All he want to do is, I want my woman back. He'll kill anybody, black, green, red, blue, or brown, just to get his woman back. So if we're able to increase that, and then Quentin goes, yeah, it's an omelet. It's an omelet and all these ingredients, and I'm gonna throw some more of Broomhilda. So in the movie, when you watch it, those scenes where Kerry Washington is sort of in his eyesight, that wasn't in the script. He placed Kerry Washington to make sure it was a through line so that Django, it was a guy about going to get love in the worst circumstance. So therefore, when people watch it, it's like, oh man, he's on a journey to get his girl. Because if you look, when the first girl when he said, John Brittle, I like how you die, boy, boom, he shoots him. He don't go untie the girl that was being whipped.
Yeah.
That's not his thing. I'm going to get my girl. So in moments like that, QT was so accommodating.